Do you know what? There's nothing worse than when you're outside and you're trying to use a pair of secateurs and they get a little bit blunt and they start snagging like that. It is very easy to sharpen your secateurs even out in the garden. They have a bevel edge and a flat edge. They're the only two edges that you need to look at. So again, using the tapered file, we have the bevel edge here. All I'm going to do is hold the secateurs so, and just nice and easily in a circular motion, just take this around that bevel edge. Don't do it fast, there's no need. If you do it nice and slowly, you can see exactly what you're doing and you're taking the same amount off all the way around that blade. Then turn them over. You will have created a small little burr behind there. So again, use the flat side here and just take that flat across the blade. Done. It is that quick and that simple. And then from there we have now got what I would say is a very, very clean cut. So that is how to keep your secateurs sharp. Garden shears, again a nightmare when they go blunt. Very, very easy to sharpen. You can see here, I hope you're catching this, Bob, you can see here you've got this bevel edge going down here, and again you've got the flat edge there. All of these gardening tools are very, very similar in the way that you sharpen them. So what I like to do is just level off that bevel edge so you're almost looking down flat on it. So I'm coming down flat here with the flat side of the tapered file. So come down here flat, and again a nice light circular motion. Just take that down the length of the blade. I can see immediately where I'm cutting. No need to apply pressure, let the diamond do the work. Nice and light. So you take one side, turn it over the flat side, and just take off the burr. Again, you would repeat exactly the same to the other blade. Nice and light, let the diamond do the work. Working this flat on the bevel edge which you've flattened off. Turn that over, again flat on there, and take the burr off. This leaves an absolutely cracking edge. If I just, look, anything we want to go through. Very, very easy to maintain. Once we've sharpened our shears like this, because these particular blades are usually fairly dirty, you will find that if you've been using the tapered file dry, it will begin to clog. You can see here the crap that we've just taken off the blades there. Two things. Either I would personally recommend using the Trend lapping fluid. This will keep it clean and stop it clogging. You can see how quickly that just takes the clogging out. However, sometimes you're not going to be walking around in the garden with a bottle of this in your pocket. So if you have used one of these dry for a little while, you need to remove the cloggings in there. So one of these cleaning erasers will actually take out all the clogging very, very quickly. So just give that a quick rub through, and all you're doing is just freeing off the diamond so that you've got your abrasion back. Now we can continue to sharpen. Tree loppers, bevel edge, flat edge, exactly the same as your pruners. Not a problem, sharpen it exactly the same way. Very quick, easy to maintain. Axes. Oh, that's a heavy one. I don't know if we can get in on this, Bob, but what I'm going to do, because this is a particularly rusty, nasty axe, mainly because it's Allen's, I'm going to put some fluid on this because this could be a little bit messy. What I'm going to do is, you can see there the edge, and what I'm going to do, again in a nice light motion on the flat side of this tapered diamond file. Now I can see that from there, how quickly I'm bringing that edge up. Have you got that? You got that, Bob? Turn it over. I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side. Nice and light. Let the diamond do the work. There's no need to apply pressure to these. you'll find it a lot more efficient and easier to sharpen if you put no pressure on there at all. And again, I can see that edge coming straight up. That is remarkable. And again, you've edged up your axe. You can see how easy it is with the fluid on there to actually keep the stone clean. And finally, one of the most important things in the garden is obviously your utility or your budding knife. And this must be sharp. So to put the edge on your utility knife or budding knife, what I suggest you do, because this is the safest way to do it, is to keep the blade flat. And you're coming in here on the flat side of the tapered file in this sort of motion. Now, a lot of people will say to me, what sort of angle should I be coming in? Well, the thing is, it's all fairly logical. The flatter you're working that to the blade, the more of a filleting, budding or carving edge you're achieving. The more of the angle you put on there, the more of like a boning edge you're putting on. So in the garden, if it's for a budding knife, you want this as sharp as possible. So keep this fairly flat. Have you got that, Bob? And just nice and lightly take one side, turn the blade over, just a shallow angle, and then take the other side. And the motion is alternate strokes, and just do this nice and lightly and softly. Don't have to do it fast, and you certainly don't have to do it hard. And you'll find in 2 or 3 strokes that you've really achieved a very, very nice edge on there. And hopefully, if I can just demonstrate with a piece of paper, and the idea is that you're achieving this sort of edge on there, and that is what you want from your knife. Now we find ourselves in the kitchen. If there's one thing that I'm continually being asked to sharpen, it's pairs of scissors, and it is not that difficult. We have a bevel edge and a flat edge. Now what I like to do is actually rest the blade on a work surface or a tabletop. You've got the bevel edge there. I like to level that off so that you're looking down flat on that. And again, with the tapered file, you can come down here on the flat side and in a nice light circular motion, take this down the length of the blade. No pressure, let the diamond do the work. I keep on having to stress that. When you're doing this, you'll see where you're cutting on the edge. If you're not quite achieving the edge, do not try and move the file all over the place to get to the edge. This is your controlling hand for the angle, so just slightly bringing it out and making sure that you've got that flat. So take that down one side, turn it over, and when you've put the burr on, just take the burr off that. And again, do it to the other blade. And you'll find that very, very quickly, you will be able to get an edge on those scissors like so. And that, I'm sure you'll agree, is quite a keen edge. Sorry about the floor, Alan, but that's the way it goes. Okay. Serrated knives. Serrations here, like a bread knife, any knives like that, a great problem for people when they're trying to sharpen them. A lot of people don't. So the beauty again in here is that you will find that that is quite a steep bevel edge. So what I would do is put that first serration so on the tapered file. And all I'm going to do is move it up and down so, and believe it or not, that would be sharpening that serration. And if you just slightly increase the speed of that and start pushing the blade slightly forward, you will find that you are going through each of those serrations. Nice and light, let the diamond do the work. Once you've come to the end, and just go around and do it down to the other end as well. You are then going to have put a little bit of a burr on there, so what you want to do is put this flat on the back and remove the burr. And there, it is that easy to sharpen your bread knives or serrated knives. Keep them sharp, they're just a joy to work with.